Welcome to How to Establish and Run an Investment Club. I am Ken Zendel. With me today is Dennis Genord, who is the Director of Education and Chapter Relations for Better Investing. In addition to his decades of experience on staff, Dennis has been a partner in 3 investment clubs. Dennis leads the organization's development and delivery of in-person and online investment education to Better Investing members and investment clubs. He helped develop the Building Wealth curriculum that focuses on financial literacy and fundamental investment education. I am the CEO of the National Association of Investors and a certified educator in personal finance. This is our standard disclaimer. Our presentation is for educational purposes only, and I don't believe we're mentioning any stocks today, but if we do, they are just for illustrative purposes and are not to be considered endorsed or recommended. We may be recording this for future use. So who is the National Association of Investors? We were founded in 1951 in Detroit, Michigan by 3 investment clubs. These clubs built successful portfolios and thought, others need to know how to do this too. We are a national 501c3 nonprofit investment education organization. For 70 years, Better Investing, also known as NAIC, has been uniting everyday people from all walks of life with a common interest in improving their financial futures. We are here to serve our members, consisting of both investment clubs and individual investors. As a nonprofit, we don't make investment recommendations. We're not a financial advisor who charges commissions. We're not an influencer who is trying to push you to buy a certain product that their company has a financial incentive to endorse. Instead, we teach our members not only how to determine on their own whether a stock is worthy of their hard-earned money, but also how to determine the price at which to buy the stock that will give them the return they are seeking. First, our mission. As a nonprofit organization, our mission is to educate individual investors and investment clubs to become successful lifelong investors. Our time-tested approach is based upon our core investing principles. They are first, invest regularly, regardless of what the stock market is doing. Stay invested. Don't panic. Research has proven this to be the key to success. Second, reinvest your dividends and capital gains from the sale of appreciated stocks so you can take advantage of compounded growth. Third, buy stocks of high-quality growth companies at reasonable prices. Most people do a pretty good job of picking a quality stock. Where they are challenged is in understanding when is the right time to buy it. We teach how to make those judgment calls. And fourth, we minimize our risk by diversifying our holdings. These proven investing principles, coupled with our education, provide our members with the learning, tools, and investing skills they need to build wealth. Add in the strength of our generous community of like-minded investors, and this all results in our members being empowered to control their own financial future. So what is an investment club? Well, tens of thousands of our members follow those principles via an investment club. An investment club is where a number of family members or friends or work colleagues, current and former, or members of a professional association pool their money to invest and learn together. There are clubs of all types of people, folks who go to the same church or alumni of the same university. An investment club meets regularly, typically once a month. Participating in a club helps you and your fellow club members become more engaged in the stock investing process through learn by doing. Dennis, how did you know the people in your club? Tell us about your experience in a club.
Oh, let's see. The first club that I was a partner with was actually one of the clubs you mentioned that was around at the beginning of the start of this organization. I wasn't a member back at that time, but I was invited back in the late 80s to be a member of the Mutual Investment Club of Detroit, and that was a group of folks that included one of the founders, Thomas O'Hara, the current chair and CEO at the time, Ken Janke. These were the guys literally that wrote the book, and literally got the documentation of our methodology and really how the organization operates and how clubs are administered. All of that came out of the efforts of those two gentlemen. And so, and then there were others that were some of the original members of that group, and it was a very well funded club. It had a ton of money in it. It was in the millions, and I came in, investing my $50 a month, and I was so much a fish out of water, you couldn't believe it. But it was one of the greatest learning experiences I ever had. These guys knew their stuff, and it wasn't like I was really learning how to do the stock selection guide, our tool that we use to find those good quality companies and determine if they're at a good price. They all use the tool, but they don't talk about it in a sense that in a way that you're going to learn. What they talk about they really get into the companies in a different way. They're all about what is this company going to do for us as investors going forward? What are its prospects? What's tomorrow look like? So they were great discussions, and I learned a ton. So that was a blessing being a part of that club. And it got me so excited. I literally became a member of the organization, started my own clubs with family. There was a family club, there was a friends club. So it's a great way to learn how to invest and also to build relationships. There's a camaraderie that comes about that it's really second to none when you're going into business with one another, and you're making big decisions, real decisions that impact people's lives financially. So it's been a wonderful experience.
Dennis, sounds like you have some real experts in that first club. Do you need experts in a club?
Oh, no. If it wasn't for I was able to tolerate being embarrassed, just not being able to add to the conversation in that club. But no, that was a very unique situation. And no, we have all the educational resources and information clubs need. We will help clubs get set up. We will help them to understand that process we use to find those good companies and to find the right price, and we'll start right from the beginning. You don't need letters after your names or degrees in finance or accounting. You need none of that. This was a very straightforward methodology that was put together by one of our founders, George Nicholson, way back in the early 40s. It was put together as an experiment, and it truly hasn't changed since that time. It's that solid. So no, we'll show you everything you need.
Great, thanks, Dennis. And I think we like to think of it much like a rowing team, that in an investment club you go further together, working together. An investment club is a proven great way to put what you learn into practice in a supportive environment. You're learning sound, practical investing skills with others who have your back, and a similar interest or approach to investing can be very rewarding. And many of our members didn't know anything about investing when they first joined the club. They learned along with their club members. For others who are more experienced, they started a club as a way to pass their knowledge on to family members or friends. Ultimately, a club is about learning and growing with each other. The community of the club provides the reinforcement that enables people to learn about stock investing and successfully practice it. The modest investment of each individual, the limited time each puts into research, and the devotion to the 4 proven principles collectively add up to a formidable investing force. Our belief is that at some point, club members will feel comfortable and knowledgeable enough to invest on their own due to what they've learned in the club. But staying in a club keeps club members motivated and provides new ideas. In addition to making money together, it is also a social opportunity to have some fun along the way while learning by doing. One of our members recently wrote into us and said, "Because of BetterInvesting, I'm financially secure. Your education is priceless, and I'm passing it on to my kids and grandkids." So let's talk about what a typical club member, what their responsibilities would be. They have three responsibilities. They would be expected to participate in their club by attending each meeting, like we said, typically monthly, by making a minimum monthly contribution to the club, which is typically $25 to $100, but each investment club sets its own monthly minimum or amount. And third, researching and following the progress of a particular stock or family of stocks, which the club has either bought or is considering for purchase. So how do you start an investment club? Well, first, you search for like-minded people who have the same interest and desire about investing in stocks as you do. This is crucial. One of our longtime instructors cautions, if some members of a club are interested in playing the market rather than a more studied long-term oriented approach, the conflict has the potential to tear the club apart. Step 2, it'll probably take 2 or more of these organizational meetings to work on formulating your club before the first official monthly meeting. Third, register the club and its members with BetterInvesting. That's the easiest step. BetterInvesting sets you and your club up for success to invest profitably together. BetterInvesting members have access to an in-depth and growing learning center designed for both beginning and experienced investors. In addition, it protects your club as registration includes general liability insurance, which covers loss resulting from bodily injury to others or damage to property of others at a club meeting. And finally, done right, an investment club is set up with a formal legal partnership agreement to protect the assets of each individual. This is the fourth step. And we have sample partnership agreements available on our website. If you need help forming, you can request a club mentor. Dennis is our primary mentor. Dennis, any tips on club formation or separately how the mentoring process works?
Yeah, there's a lot that can be said, but you covered some real big ones in that previous slide. That the first one, when you talk about finding folks, like-minded individuals who think like you, who are looking to achieve the same things, that is absolutely critical. I've watched situations where clubs were just torn apart because there was a group of folks that wanted to do one thing one way and the other that was doing another, and that never works. So that's key, is get everybody on the same page, and that's one of the things we make sure is actually happening with potential clubs. So we'll get a meeting together, and I'm listening to these folks to make sure we're hearing what we would want to hear from a club, and not something that would create potential problems. If there is such a thing, I will bring that up to the club, typically in a side meeting. But yeah, we help them get started finding each other, just even from the very beginning, all the way to just walking through the process of setting up the legal structure, like Ken mentioned. And there's a number of things you're gonna need to prepare for. There's the club accounting. You're gonna want to find someone who can work with the club accounting application that we provide our clubs, which is a very user-friendly tool that is what our clubs call mission control. Everything the club needs to administer the business of the club can be managed through this application. So there's no reinventing the wheel or trying to create things you really have no idea what to or how to create. It's all there for you, and we walk through folks through that entire process. So one, to take away the angst. There's always angst when it comes to the treasurer role. We take that one right away. We also have a number of processes that we have folks that we make sure that they know how to go about running a meeting, per se, creating the agenda for that meeting, what to focus on and in what order, and how to conduct a proper study and presentation on a particular company that's being considered. We show folks how to do all these things so they're not wondering, well, well, that's nice. There's a meeting coming up. What do we do? We have that for you. So there's, again, I know I've said it, but there's no reason to reinvent the wheel in our space. We've got it all there for you. We will present it to you in a way that is totally understandable, and then work with you until you're set up and you're up and running. Okay, so yeah, it's an important process, the mentoring, Ken, and many clubs have benefited from that help that we offer, and to, get them over that hump that where there's a great deal of uncertainty and such. So
Perfect. Thank you, Dennis. Let's go over some of the things that once you're formed, what you would do. You need to lay the groundwork. Developing operating procedures. These are the detailed workings of the club, which should be customized to meet the needs of your specific club and its members. This document covers rules such as the officer's duties and times of meetings. And as Dennis mentioned, we have samples and templates of Better Investing, so you don't have to start from scratch. Second would be to establish an investment policy statement. This helps spur consistency in stock selection and prevents the club from getting distracted. It typically covers items such as investment goals, allowable and prohibited assets, diversification targets, minimum club investment amount in a single stock, etc. And new clubs may create a general statement first and then refine it over time. Next, you open a brokerage account where you will buy and sell stocks. In some cases, there's no need for a bank account because many brokers provide the ability to write checks against a money market account in any denomination. The next step is to establishing accounting. When sharing funds to make investment decisions as a partnership, the club will need to have club accounting procedures in place. As Dennis mentioned, we have club accounting software such as myiClub.com, and that also includes other valuable club administration tools. This makes much of this process easy and transparent. Then you know how much of the club's portfolio belongs to each member. Now the regular learning and fun begins. Clubs that conduct well-run, organized meetings are on a smoother path to lasting success. One of the most valuable aspects of investment clubs is the education they can provide. Clubs that maximize the educational aspects of their meetings usually find that profits follow. In developing the education program, consider education for all levels of investing experience within your club. Create a list of topics, potential guest speakers, and educational resources provided by Better Investing. Finally, when studying potential and current investments, use the Better Investing online stock selection and analysis tools, including the stock selection guide, to find quality companies whose stock is selling at reasonable prices. Dennis, as you lead our education team and are very familiar with the stock selection guide, any thoughts to share on those two keys to success?
yeah, that's the stock selection guide is our primary tool that we teach every member, club member, individual member, to use in their search for those high quality companies and to determine whether or not those companies are selling or selling at a reasonable price. This is where we spend our time. There's a number of steps that you've heard us talk about in this presentation, and they're all very important. But a lot of those are a one-off, where the stock selection guide, the study of companies, that is the primary business of the club and of the members in the club. This is what we do. We're looking for investments. So this is where we spend our time. And to get accustomed to the tools is absolutely critical. We have two of them. One is a teaching tool. It takes you step by step through the entire process we use to find companies, and it helps folks just get the process down and memorized. And after that, they're welcome to go on to another tool, which is more free flowing and free to just explore on a not so linear step-by-step basis as the learning tool, but one that really provides a robust set of resources that help our members do their stock studies. So this is the key to the success of your club right here, is this tool. There's no doubt about it. It keeps everybody looking at the same criteria as well. Okay, so when you're presenting on a company or someone else is presenting, everybody's going to be looking at the key criteria that we talk about in the tool. And so what happens over time is everybody's going to be on the same language. You're going to develop an understanding of companies like you've never you could ever have imagined. And it's all because you're following this process that it's already in place. It's been used for over 7 decades, and it's one that people understand. But it is critical to keep clubs on track. And what you'll find is in some of the resources that Ken was talking about setting up operating procedures and such, you will literally have in your operating procedures that it is required that a stock selection study is provided at the time of the presentation of a company before it will even be considered to be an investment in the club. That is where the decision making begins, is from the information in that tool. So we take it very seriously. It's where we spend our time. It's critical to understand.
Thanks, Dennis. I'll give just a little more background on it. The stock selection guide helps one learn facts about a company's past, take a look at how it is doing in the present, and form a judgment about its likely value in the future. More specifically, the Better Investing tools present sales, earnings, profitability, price earnings ratios, dividends, and other fundamental data in a highly visual yet logical format. And the Better Investing stock selection methodology is integrated into the design and functionality of our tools, making it easy for you to apply the teachings of Better Investing. And as Dennis mentioned, for our beginning investors, there's a step-by-step format. The tools are designed to help investors from all walks of life follow a time-tested methodology for building wealth. One more thing about investment clubs that I want to make sure we share today. A commitment to 3+ years is critical. The liquidation value, that is, if you said, get me out of this club and give me my money back, of most investment clubs will often be less than the capital contributions of its members during the first year or even first 2 years. Investing in the stock market is a long-term proposition, and your contribution may only increase in value after the first year or 2 of a club's operation. So getting all of your partners on board and committing to 3 years is critical. Dennis?
Yeah, this is another key hurdle to get past with folks. We're looking for those great companies, really good quality companies that we can invest in. We're investors. We're not day traders, market timers, any of that. We look to invest in companies we want to own that are growing. And as they grow, so does the value of our investment. So it's very important that you give it time and have great deal of patience when it comes to how these companies you choose for your portfolio are performing. This isn't a scenario where you're going to get rich overnight. You're going to go for a ride with a company that is growing and is continuing to grow, and you're going along for that ride. Okay, so it's very, very important to be patient and just understand that the time component and the ability to just not be looking at the stock price of every holding every day. There's absolutely no reason to do that. We're the sleep at night type of investors, we like to say. It's where you find those great companies, and you can look at the stock price if you want to periodically, but really it's when new real financial data becomes available every quarter is when we take another active step to looking at the company again. We have new data to look at. How is this company performing that we've chose to invest in? And that's really the cycle we put ourselves through. It's basically quarterly. It's not every day. We like to sleep at night, and it's very important that the patience of the club remains intact while there's the growing and the learning taking place.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Dennis. Let your money work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, In addition to the support we provide individual investors, Better Investing is universally recognized as the leading authority on how to start and run a profitable stock investment club. Better Investing Club members are provided with the knowledge, process, tools, investing skills, and the support of a dynamic and committed member community in order to run a profitable investment club. Remember, we've been helping start and support investment clubs for over 70 years. We're confident that you can be a successful investor, and we're confident in the resources we provide you to achieve that success. We are passionate about our nonprofit mission because we know how much is at stake for you. We succeed every time you and your family's financial future becomes more secure. Take the next step to securing your financial future by utilizing our resources. Visit the website for more information. The URL on your screen will also link you to the mentor request page. If you have any questions, please reach out at 248-583-6242. You'll speak to Michelle or Rhonda or Treva. Or you can email them at service@betterinvesting.org. Thank you for listening.